Hi, welcome back to What the Frick, everyone. Again, it's been a long time, but we are back. We are better than ever. I just wanted to go through some of my summer updates with you all. I have been busy as usual, and I have not really shared what I've been up to ever since my trip in May to London and Edinburgh. So I thought I would just give some updates and let you guys know what I have coming up in this next month. So, funny enough, like right after my friend and I got back from our UK trip, we literally flew out to Naples, Florida the weekend after. It was like the only weekend we were both available because we're both very busy, like I said, but we just found it funny. Like, we literally just flew across the world, and like 5 days later, we're gonna also go and fly like across the country essentially because we live on the west coast to Florida. But I have a family friend that has some Airbnbs there, and she wanted some content done of her Airbnbs, so she offered to fly me there for free, and I could bring a friend, and we got to stay at one of the Airbnbs for free. Obviously, we took some content of it, and then we got to just kind of like hang around the Naples area for the weekend and go to the beach and just kind of relax. We saw it as our vacation from our travel trip, because our travel trip is not really a vacation in my eyes. Whenever I go to a different country, I see it as traveling, where, I'm walking, I'm moving, I'm seeing things. But a vacation in my eyes is like Hawaii, Florida, somewhere tropical where you're kind of just like sitting around more, sipping, eating, vibing. So this was our vacation from our travels, and it was actually really, really fun. Shortly after that, I had even more travels coming up. My parents decided to go to San Diego for a random weekend because they had like a free stay or something, and they were going to take my two dogs, to which I was like, that's not fair. Like, I want to see my dogs in a beach location. So I managed to get myself to be able to go with them, and because of the portfolio I've built up, traveling, staying places, and just those Airbnb content I just mentioned, I was able to convince the hotel, hey, I would love to stay here. Here's like my situation. My family's gonna be here, but I would like my own room. I don't like staying in the same room as my family anymore. I don't sleep very well. I'm not someone that sleeps well in general, yet alone in new locations, yet alone surrounded by my family. And I'm very sensitive to noises and temperature, and just, it's really hard for me. I don't ever sleep on planes. But I didn't obviously say that in my email, but I just mentioned how I would love like my own room, and they actually said yes, which was super cool and super fun. Like, the first time I've had a hotel actually say yes to me like that. So I went with them and took pictures and videos of the hotel, and I got to hang out with my family and my dogs. So that was also very, very fun. There's nothing quite like seeing your dogs run around on the beach, except my dogs are very different. I have two. One of them, his name is Bear. He is very like, what is even the word? I don't want to say he's more of a dog than the other one, but he's just like not really afraid of much. Like, he likes walking around and being on the beach and like seeing things, whereas my other dog, Theo, is a lot more like skittish, and he doesn't like certain sounds. Skateboarding, scooters, little kids kind of playing freaks him out. So it was actually not the best environment for him, because we were on like a boardwalk area, and obviously it's full of little kids and people like scootering and rollerblading. So he did not enjoy those sounds, whereas my other dog just doesn't see that as like a threatening thing. So they're very different in that way, but they both had a good time. Another trip I went on, as you can see, there is a theme here. I got tickets to Coldplay. It's been like one of my goals to see them perform. They're such a cool band that's been around for such a long time. They have so many amazing songs. So when I saw that they were touring again in America, sadly they did not come to my home state, but they were gonna either be in Vegas or El Paso, Texas. They're both pretty close to where I live. It's a lot easier to get tickets for the El Paso location, and cheaper, I must say. Obviously, Vegas is a very expensive city. But I ended up getting 2 tickets to El Paso, and my mom was supposed to come with me originally because she's actually from El Paso and has lots of family and friends there. So I was like, oh, this will be perfect. We'll like go and have a little weekend there and see this concert. And I like for her to like experience things like this. I feel like she's not quite as educated and cultured on like phenomenons like this. And Coldplay is supposed to be like a once in a lifetime concert. So I was excited for her to like get to experience that with me. But she ended up bailing on me because one of my brother's childhood best friends was getting married the same weekend, and she decided to go do that over the concert, which I was like, all right. But it ended up working out. It was my second cousin whose family lives there. I ended up inviting her, who I had hung out with before, and it's really fun. So we went together, made a whole weekend of it, got to hang out with her family, and it was actually really fun and relaxing. The concert itself was amazing as expected. I've been to a lot of concerts, as we know, and I would say this concert comes in second place next to Taylor Swift, of course. But I feel like most boy bands and like male performers in general don't quite as put on much as big of a spectacle as women performers. And so it was nice to see them put so much effort into their concert. It was like sustainability themed. So they had little bikes where you could like go ride a bike and that would like help power stuff, and like little trampolines on the floor where you could jump and that would help power something. So they were just like very sustainability themed, which I thought was cool. And they really do put on a show. It's very colorful. Like they change clothes throughout the show. I feel like most men don't do that. They have like fireworks going off. They have like colorful streamers. There's these glasses you put on at one point that are like 3D, and it like makes every light look like a heart. And it's very immersive, and you wear those glow up bracelets similar to what a lot of artists do now, but I know Taylor Swift does it as well. And it would change colors for every song, and it makes the whole experience so much more fun. Especially when the song Yellow came on, and it's like very well timed. As he's talking, all of a sudden it like drops and you like hear the beat and like the whole place turns yellow. It's like honestly a very magical experience. So I was sad my mom didn't get to go there with me, but I did have a really good time. The only con to this concert was that it was in an outdoor stadium in the Texas summer, so it was quite warm. But I mean, I'm quite used to the heat being in Arizona, so it wasn't too bad, but just had a lot of water. And I wanted to look cute, obviously, but as soon as I like stepped outside, the hair just went immediately up into a bun. I was like, I'm just here to have fun. I'm not really here to like look aesthetically pleasing. So, but yes, when A Sky Full of Stars came on and the fireworks start shooting up, it's like one of the most fun moments you'll ever experience at a concert. So if you had not a chance to see them, they are apparently retiring after I think it's their 10th or 12th studio album. So they still have like 2 more albums to go. So I'm assuming they're going to have at least one more tour in there, which I will be trying to go see again. But it's quite a show. So highly recommend it. And then the other big trip I did was for my friend's bachelorette party. She's getting married in Lake Como, Italy, which I'll discuss in a minute. But she had her bachelorette in Palm Springs, California. And it was actually like literally one of the funnest weekends of my life. Shout out Sydney, you did an amazing job. Literally, I'm gonna try to explain it. It was very bougie. It was very fun. They rented out this like villa in Palm Springs that was huge and gorgeous. The decorations were on point. You could tell they put a lot of work into it. Walking in, seeing this gigantic fridge fully stocked with Celsius, every kind of alcohol you could think of, like just fruit, food. It was like walking into a dream, I felt like. And then the weekend itself was like, I feel like perfect for like where we are in our lives. We're not like 22 trying to like get crazy every night, but we're also not like in our, late 30s, 40s where we just like don't want to have any fun. So I know the first night was really good. We literally just like all kind of hung out, got to know each other. I only really knew the bride and then my one friend who comes with me on all of my trips. So just kind of getting to know people. We were gifted a set of PJs, And then we were also gifted like Ray-Bans and towels and like hats and just like all these cool things. So it was like quite the goodie basket once we got there. And then the next 2 days were pretty much just pool days. We had this amazing pool, and they got this bartender to come in both days, and each day was a different theme. So the first day was martini themed, so there were 3 martinis you could choose from, and he would make them for you, put a little bow on it. We had these little like cocktail toppers that said like Sydney's Bachelorette that would go on. So we would just like hang out at the pool all day. I was the designated DJ. I brought the speaker, so that was fun. Everyone seemed to like my music. But I'd say that first pool day was the most lit because everyone was just super happy and like fresh and having fun. And the one thing I found like somewhat funny about it was a lot of the girls were taking the time to like fully get ready for the pool and like putting on full hair and makeup because they wanted to look cute and take pictures, which like totally respect. But my friend and I like weren't really feeling like getting fully ready for the pool. And also Palm Springs is very similar to the climate here in Arizona, so I was like, I'm not putting on a full face of makeup for it to like essentially melt off throughout the day. And I also knew that we had things going on that night that I wanted to look cute for. So I was like, I don't want to do my makeup twice. So I'd rather just do it later. So was just pretty much just wearing like face sunscreen and one of the hats that we were gifted, and was that. But it was funny because we had this bartender booked for maybe like 6 hours, and the first hour and a half is just like all these girls getting ready. So it's just me and my friend outside like by ourselves making TikToks, having fun. And we were probably already like 3 martinis deep by the time the rest of the girls came out. So I was like, hey y'all. But the day was super fun. Like people were drinking, we had little snacks. It was also really cool because we had massages that morning. They hired like masseuses to come, and we each got a full 1 hour massage. And there was also a private chef that made us breakfast every day. That was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Like literally like stacks of croissant sandwiches, and like I don't even like remember all the things that it were, but like there were like waffles, and like the way it was presented too was amazing. But like way too much food for a group of girls, but like it was all about kind of the aesthetics of it all. And there were like little bubbles floating around. It was just, it was presented so nicely. And then we had like snacks for middle of the day when we got hungry, so we would just like continue eating the breakfast, and it was just so good. So throughout the day, I noticed like some of the people were getting like very drunk, and obviously that's going to happen at a bachelorette party, especially when you're outside. You know, it's probably like around 90 some degrees, which actually was a kind of a cooler weekend for Palm Springs, which I was pretty happy about. But I made a joke to my friend because some of the girls were just getting too drunk, and there was like one in particular who like didn't make it to dinner because she was so out of it. And I was like laughing. I'm like, it's clear that some of us just are not used to drinking in 100-degree weather, like as a flex, because of where I live. I'm just quite used to the heat and like having to deal with that. But clearly it's like not normal to be drinking in that hot of weather. And it's like you have to stay hydrated, which I'm very good at. I mean, she gave us water bottles and stuff, but like everyone had their own water anyway. And she also gave us electrolytes. So like every time I would go get a drink, I would have like a couple sips of water like immediately following, just to stay hydrated, because like regardless of the drinking, you're still outside and you should still be drinking water because it's hot. So yeah, just something I'm try to be good about. But like I feel like my friend and I had probably the most amount of drinks, and we were like totally fine. So that night we had the private chef make us a Italian dinner that was like a 5-course meal. Ended up like kind of being a dud, not because the food was bad. It was amazing because everybody was just so tired and like hungover from the day. Like I said, that one girl did not make it to dinner. She showed up like 2.5 hours late when she like finally woke up. But like people were just so like out of it. And like I said, it's a bunch of girls, and the dinner ended up being like lamb, chicken. We had this like giant prosciutto board as like an appetizer, and then we had like 2 giant things of pasta, dessert. So like people just couldn't physically get it down. And I think also to the alcohol like that had been sitting in our stomachs. Like I know my friend was like, my stomach feels kind of weird just from like drinking all day. So like she didn't really want to eat. And I was like Honestly, totally fine. Wasn't like super hungry, but I tried every single thing that the chef brought out. Even though I couldn't eat all of it, I still tried it. So that was the only like bad part, was we had this like incredible meal, but like it really couldn't be eaten, so we just saved a lot of it. And then that same night there was a stripper that came, which was also kind of funny because again everybody was super tired and hungover, and he was like trying to make us drink shots and like pour it down our throats, and everyone's like, absolutely not, like do not do that to us. So he was like not there very long, but it was fun just like actually having a stripper come in. Like I feel like I've only seen that in movies, so it was just cool to see. But the next day was also just very relaxed. We had another pool day, and we had that same bartender there, only this time the theme was spritzes, which is my drink of choice. And a lot of the girls definitely were not on the same level as the day before. I think just aware that they did not want to get the same level of drunk and tired. So a lot of them were just like having water or like having one drink, whereas I was like, I'm taking full advantage of this. Like I totally felt fine the day before too. So I was still, having spritz by spritz by spritz. Like I had so many. And it was just more of a chill pool day. Everyone was just kind of relaxing. And then it was that night where we actually left the villa. So she got a party bus, which took us into town. We had like a little appetizer at this dinner. At this cute little restaurant she wanted to go to. Then we went to like one of the only clubs in town. It was very like 2000s music vibes, super fun. We're all wearing black sparkly dresses and the black Ray-Bans that were gifted to us. It was very much giving like Charlie XCX party girl vibes. And it was honestly just super fun to like be in the party bus, like chilling. And like again, I was DJ and like blasting music and just like dancing around. So I had an amazing weekend. The only bad part for me was having to drive to Palm Springs. It's like a 4.5 hour drive. And it's hot in Arizona, so being in the car midday driving, like I was sweating like the entire drive. On the way back wasn't quite as bad because I left earlier in the morning, but it was just hot. And I was like, if my car decides to like fall apart on the road, I'm gonna like literally be in trouble. It's like 100 degrees out. But I was fine. But yeah, like honestly, that weekend was amazing. So like huge shout out to the bride and the bride's family for putting that together. But like I had so much fun. And I guess that leads me into updates to come. But I am off again to another crazy trip. Like I said, my friend is getting married in Lake Como, Italy. So this has been planned for quite a while now. I feel like it's how do I say this? Like the anxiety of planning this has been like taking over my mind for the past year or so. So I'm like happy it's coming because I just feel like it's been so much work to plan it all. And my friend and I decided, this is the same friend that's with me everywhere I go, by the way. We're both bridesmaids in this wedding, but we decided to like make it a whole thing because we really only had to be there for 3 days for her wedding, but we don't really like to go that far for 3 days. So we were like, let's make a trip out of it. It's also my birthday weekend. My birthday is the day after she gets married. And we were like, this is kind of like a fun thing we could do. We also realized we're like celebrating 10 years of being friends since we met in college. So we were like, let's just like go early. And it ended up being at first like, okay, let's just go like a couple days early. And then she was like, where's a holiday weekend? We may as well leave earlier. So the crazy people that we are literally leaving August 31st for a wedding that does not take place September 12th. But I'm flying home September 14th. So the idea, which is why this took so long, is we're trying to figure out the best way to get to Italy. It's very hard to get to Lake Como. It's not like a place you can just like fly into unless I guess you're like a billionaire. But like you have to fly into Milan and then like take a train or a car to Lake Como, which I thought would be very easy to do from London, like one of the biggest cities there is. You can pretty much fly anywhere from there, but there were literally no flights from London Heathrow to Milan. I was like, what's going on? So that kind of added a bump into our itinerary. We got to find somewhere else to fly into Milan from. Like, why is this so difficult? And the end results, which we ended up figuring out, was we are going to fly into London and then do 2 days there because we've been there so many times. But it's like literally one of our favorite cities to go to together, and we can always find stuff to do. So we just love it there. So we're spending 2 days there, and then we're going to fly to Dubrovnik in Croatia. Ooh, so fun. Originally, we were going to also go to like Vienna or something, but then I was like, we're going to be overwhelmed. Like, we're used to just like picking a place and spending like 4 or 5 days there. And it's exhausting to like repack your bags and be traveling like that. And then we were like, let's just stay in Croatia. So we're going to go to Dubrovnik and do like we're doing a week in Croatia. So we're doing half a week in Dubrovnik. And then we're going to drive to Split, the other major city there, and do a couple days there. And it's like actually going to be so fun because, again, it's like not a country where there's a ton to do, I think. So we're having like one main day to like explore Dubrovnik, explore the city. And then we're going to do like a beach day. So we like rented out a beach chair at like a club. We're going to like sit there and like kind of try to chill. And then the next day we're driving from Dubrovnik to Split, which is like a 2.5 or 3 hour drive. And I guess there's all these little villages you can stop in and like see that are less touristy. So super excited to see that. Okay, my friend just texted me, OMG, it's the one I wonder what it is. I need to text her back. Let's see if she says what it is while we're on this podcast. What is up, girl? Okay, I just responded to her. But then anyway, so we're driving, and luckily it is on the correct side of the road, so it's nothing. Oh my God, hold on, it's about Taylor Swift. What? She's engaged? Hold on, everyone. This is literally happening live. There's nothing on Instagram. Holy shit, what's going on? No, my God! Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Lord. 10 minutes ago, Taylor Swift and Killer Trav, your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married. I'm speechless. Oh my God. You guys, the fact I was recording this podcast when this happened, Jesus Christ, I'd make a whole new episode now dedicated to this. Holy macaroni. Hold on, everyone. I need to take a minute here. Can we just give me a minute? Thank you. What a random, holy cow. I have multiple people texting me, just want to see how you're doing with the news. What the actual, I need to like take a minute. I need to finish this podcast, so okay, thank you for that brief interruption, but the photos of them are absolutely gorgeous. They're like in a forest. It's giving folklore. Ooh, the ring is very Taylor. I mean, I have a feeling this happened months ago. She has her comments turned off. I wish that was not a thing, but I'm like, where was I? Anyway, I guess we're driving to Split and then doing 2 days there. 1 day is dedicated to actually a boat day. My grandparents are going to be there the same time as we are, which is crazy. We did not plan that. So we're like going to do a boat day with them and like go to different islands and stuff. And then we're going to have just like a day in Split to like, explore and adventure. And then from there, we are flying out literally the next day at like 6 a.m. to Milan and getting ourselves to Lake Como for this wedding. So the wedding is supposed to be incredible. It's going to have like a welcome party, of course, where it's actually white themed. So we're having all white dresses, which is kind of crazy because usually you can't wear white at a wedding. But I have a feeling she's like a lot in store. I like can't even discuss it because I don't know what's going to happen until we get there. But the wedding's going to be incredible. So I need to sign off of this early because now I have to go stalk the whole internet about this engagement and tell everyone I know. But I will have more updates to come after my trip, of course. You'll get a whole episode dedicated to everything that we did. It might have to be multiple parts with the wedding being its own episode. But I'm so excited, and that's what I've been up to, and that's why I'm so bad at hopping on this podcast. But I find it hilarious that I discuss Taylor Swift all the time, and while I'm recording, literally her engagement is announced. So It couldn't be any better than that, people. So happy engagement to Taylor and Travis. I love you so much. And I will see you guys in a few weeks with my recap episode of my Euro summer, baby. Okay, bye.